Hello there my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. And today, we've got some major news for Ahsoka Season 2. This is so exciting. Most Ahsoka news in the last couple of months has been on the more negative side, but today, I've got something to lift your spirits. So the other day we had the more concerning news that the show had been omitted from Disney's 2026 slate. But we still don't actually know if that's for certain been pushed back. And I've been trying to keep a positive mindset because whether it's 2026 or 2027, what is set to be the final season is going to be worth the wait. From everything we've heard, from both confirmed information and even some of the rumors, this is going to be big. But today's news, my friends, concerns the Great Mothers, the ones who returned to Dathomir with Thrawn. We recently learned about a bit of an actor shakeup. Claudia Black is not returning, but one of the other essential witches from the first season will be Mother Nighsisters. And in a brand new blog post, the actress who plays her, Jane Edwina Seymour, has given us a brand new tease. Some new details about the role the Grey Mothers are playing in the second season. And while what she says is rather vague, it both confirms some rumors, but also goes against others. Let's dive straight in. So, on her website, the actress revealed that in Dave Filoni's second season, we're going to learn more about the Nightsisters and their long-term goals during the Age of the New Republic. And in addition, she shows off her crew jacket, which reveals the presence of a new symbol for Ahsoka Tano herself, combining both her fulcrum alias from Star Wars Rebels with the traditional symbol of the Jedi Order. But let's talk about the Nightsister stuff. Here's the quote from the actress. Earlier in 2025, I was asked to reprise my role of Great Mother Nighsisters for Star Wars Ahsoka Series 2, which was shot at Pinewood Studios and Longcross Studios in England. It was an absolute joy and privilege to be given the chance to develop Nighsisters more fully and deeply. Having created the role for Season 1, I knew there was so much more to this character. My copious research into the Star Wars universe and the Nightsister traditions enabled me to develop a fully rounded character, grounded in Nightsister provenance and imbued with all the dark energies and mystical powers of a high-order Dathomirian witch. Season 2 gave me the chance to explore her modus operandi and true aspirations more fully. This opportunity was made possible by Dave, the showrunner and writer of Series 2. So, there you have it my friends. We're going to learn more about Nightsister traditions from the perspective of the Great Mothers. This is going to be different to Nightsister exploration from the Clone Wars with Mother Talzin or Asajj Ventress. These are ancient Nightsisters who were in the Second Galaxy for a very, very long time. We don't know much about their backstory, their past, what they've been through, how much they've communicated with the known galaxy in that time, and if they encountered the great presence that Baylan is seeking out. Did they once confront the Jedi or the Sith? And why did their ancient society collapse? Ahsoka confirms that Peridea is the original domicile of the Nightsisters, that they originally came from Peridea to Dathomir. It's also implied that intergalactic travel was more commonplace in the ancient past. Peridea is only one of several planets in the Second Galaxy, so something dire must have happened there. And like I said, it could be connected to the ancient presence that is calling out to Baylan. Something else that's been implied is the Grey Mothers are more powerful than we think. And I've always said, drawing it back to Legends, making connections in terms of fate, by the end, are the Great Mothers the ones who are going to turn against Thrawn? And the big question all Ahsoka fans love to discuss, what is the true nature of the cargo? Are they more undead night troopers? Are they clones? Maybe clones of Maul or Asajj Ventress? I have a feeling that's going to be one of the biggest reveals this season. But the way that I interpret Jane Edwina Seymour's words is we're going to learn more about who the Great Mothers once were, their powers, their traditions. Maybe they're going to transform Dathomir, return it to a more thriving place. But I'd also love to learn why they were exiled to begin with. What other things have they been doing for Thrawn? He's definitely not one to reveal his full hand from the word go, so I believe there is more to their agreement, more to their relationship than has been shown. And Ahsoka Episode 6 revealed the Grey Mothers were able to communicate from a great distance, from a literal galaxy apart. So what else have they been puppeteering behind the scenes? And my personal area of interest, how do the Great Mothers connect to the Zepho? Think back to the Urquhart writings engraved into the walls of the Great Mother's Temple. They refer to Lord Kujet, the great Zepho sage who ruled over Dathomir a long time ago. He was first referenced in Jedi Fallen Order, and now he's been referenced a couple of times in Ahsoka, and he's mysteriously connected to the Mortis gods, to Peridea, and the Great Mothers. So like I said, this information both affirms certain leaks, but also debunks certain rumours. The rumours that said the Great Mothers are a minimal presence were clearly mistaken. If we're learning about Nightsister traditions, even in just 1 or 2 episodes, then it rules out that they're not important. But it affirms the ones who said we're about to learn a lot more about them. Word on the street is that they appear in the second half of Season 2, a bit like in the first. Jane Edwina Seymour goes on to praise the lead actress, Rosario Dawson, thanking her for a gift and also saying how incredible she was to work with. And this brings me on to a very important point. Every iteration of live-action Ahsoka so far has been very different. As a character, she keeps growing and evolving, but I'm also talking in terms of her appearance. And as we learned from a leak the other day, her montrals have grown yet again. The first time she appeared in live action was in Mando Season 2, and her montrals were so short compared to how they were in Star Wars Rebels that many fans complained. The smoothness of Ahsoka's appearance improved a bit for Book of Boba Fett, but then there was enormous improvement for Ahsoka Season 1. And now for Season 2, I'm hoping they've improved it yet again. And this goes back to something we all know about Dave Filoni. He's a bit like George. He likes poetry, but he hates repetition. He's always trying to tweak things and evolve his concepts. So that's why Sabine's gonna have a different hairstyle, it's why Ahsoka's gonna have longer montrals, and who knows what else. What we know for certain is Peridea's gonna be different. Not only am I talking in terms of on-location filming versus the volume, but also in terms of exploring different locations in the second galaxy. And finally, my friends, I just want to clarify something which I spoke about a few days ago. There's a bit of confusion as to when Ahsoka Season 2 is set. There's a small but significant comment in the brand new issue of Star Wars Insider, which has fans a bit confused. The way it's been reported is there's going to be a time jump, and that's the interpretation I've taken away from it, but here's what it says word for word. The series picks up not long after the end of Season 1, with Ahsoka, Sabine, Huyang, Shin, and Baylan stranded on Peridea, while Thrawn and Ezra have returned to the known galaxy. This to me rules out any significant time jump. Shortly after sounds like it could be a week, at most maybe a few months, but definitely not years. Long enough that Sabine's hair has grown, but I wouldn't expect a significant time jump. 2026 should be a great year, my friends, but now I turn it over to you guys. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments down below, my dear friends, and if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, and may the Force be with you, always.